We just hit 66,666 miles on this 2021 Nissan Titan Pro4X. Now granted, I didn't put every single mile on this vehicle. The previous owner, I'm the second owner, the previous owner did 5,000 miles every single month in this truck. But service records, maintenance records are very, very thorough and very, very complete. It's been meticulously maintained. The body is great. The paint is great. The interior is flawless. Everything about the truck, knock on wood, is in really, really good condition. I've had this truck for several months now at this point, and I put probably almost 60 miles a day on this thing. So I'm racking up the miles myself, and I really couldn't be more pleased with it. So for this video, I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what it's like owning a Nissan Titan with almost 70,000 miles on it. Now, clearly we got a couple of little modifications done. It has a 3-inch rough country lift. It has 33 1250 by 18-inch tires. They're Nitto Ridge Grappler tires. These are the BD0102s. They're 18 by 9 minus 12 offset. They give us just a little bit of poke, which is beautiful. A nice, aggressive, deep concavity, aggressive looking off-road style wheel. It really changed the whole look of the truck. We obviously have some dark tints, and we just got this ARE Overlander camper shell, bed topper, whatever you want to call it. We got a couple of skid plates on the underside, and we also have the Z1 Motorsporters, the Z1 off-road cold air intake. And I have a lot more coming for this truck on this channel, as well as my main channel, Speed Culture Studio. So I hope you guys will stick around for that. But aside from that, the truck is pretty well stocked. With mixed highway and city driving, I get about 14, 15, sometimes 16 miles per gallon. I think the cold air intake from Z1 Off-Road has helped a little bit there. The Black Diamond wheels have gone a long way in helping improve fuel mileage as well, because they are only about 29 pounds each. So a little bit of weight reduction in terms of unsprung weight going with these lighter wheels. And that obviously is going to have a major impact. However, it's offset a little bit because of the Ridge Grappler tires. They're a little bit heavy, a little bit knobby, and of course on the highway they're going to hinder your fuel mileage a little bit. But again, nonetheless, we took a 6-hour road trip on the interstate and got about 23 miles to the gallon, so the truck is capable of getting some decent mileage. Even after nearly 70,000 miles, the interior is held up very, very well, even in vulnerable spots where your jeans rub and things like that. The material's held up quite nicely, and it looks brand new. I've loaded the bed down, hauling some building materials and supplies. We've towed a little bit with it, about 5,000–6,000 pounds, and the truck does very, very well. I gotta say, it's pretty impressive. It's a well-rounded truck. It's very, very comfortable. It rides great. It runs good. This 5.6 liter from Nissan is very well renowned, and it's known for its reliability and longevity. Nissan did a great job with these Titans. Of course, it has nothing to do with mileage, but the looks overall are pretty tough to beat, even with the camper shell on it. Steering wheel, gauges, center console, infotainment system all look brand new still as well. Truck is very, very sharp and holds up quite well. Of course, maintenance and care go a long way, but what a nice looking truck. And rear seats look like they've never even been sat in, and really they haven't. Not a big sound system guy. I really couldn't care less about the systems that people have in their vehicles, but this Fender system actually is quite good in this Titan. It's crisp, clear, plenty of volume, and it's very well rounded. No complaints there. If you guys have checked out my other channel at all, you know I'm a big exhaust guy. It's one of the major things I like to do to a vehicle almost immediately. However, I will say the Nissan Titan has a beautiful exhaust note even from the factory, and after 66,000 miles, it's broken in perfectly and it sounds fantastic. I would really change it is just because it's in my nature. So I got to put my personal touch on it eventually, but I really wouldn't have any issues at all keeping this completely stock. It sounds great. I got to say it's one of the better sounding exhaust systems for a full-size truck on the market. Ford, Chevy, Dodge, they just can't match it in my opinion. It sort of has that Japanese touch to it, right? Just like the VQ series, the 350Zs, the G37s, they have their own unique sound to them. same goes for the Titan. I do have sort of mixed feelings about the 9-speed automatic transmission that's in these things. I'm not a fan of Nissan 7-speed, coming from a Q50 background, of course. But the 9-speed theoretically can get you a little bit of better fuel mileage, and I do like that lower ratio first gear for some crawling capabilities, a little bit better for the off-road situations that you might find yourself in. But it just kind of feels a little bit clunky to me, sort of in that lower gear range. Accelerating onto the interstate and things, it's fantastic. It shifts very, very smooth. It's really, really crisp, and of course gets you that better fuel mileage when you're cruising at 9 speeds. So again, a little bit mixed feelings. I think it could be better. I think they could flesh it out and refine it a bit more, but overall, not so bad. Speaking of off-roading, unfortunately, I really haven't had the opportunity to get the thing off-road. We've done some urban off-roading, but we really haven't gotten the tires dirty yet. So I'm looking forward to that this fall and into the winter. So I hope you guys will stick around for that kind of content. But for the time being, just from what I've seen and what I've heard, these Titans are quite capable off-road and actually are very competitive with other vehicles or other trucks in the class. So, no complaints there. I've pointed out recently too some of the items, and check out my YouTube shorts, some of the items that I don't really like about the Titan. There's some things that are kind of annoying, including the cup holders. The cup holders are so stupid, they don't fit anything. They don't fit typical soda cans, they don't fit typical water bottles, they don't fit regular coffee cups or tumblers. It's just, it's weird. I don't know what their thought process was in designing the cup holders. It's almost like if you can't use them for anything other than a big gulp, why even have them, right? So overall, the only thing I really have to say after almost 70,000 miles, 66,666, no complaints with the Titan Pro4X. It really checks almost every single box for me. Looks fantastic, has the timeless classic truck look, makes plenty of torque and power to feel good on the highway, pull and haul essentially anything that you might need to pull with a truck. It is one of the most comfortable vehicles that I've ever ridden in, including my BMW 335i or my Q50 with factory seats. My wife's fully loaded Ford Explorer Sport, 2019 Explorer Sport, had some of the most comfortable seats I have ever ridden in up to this point in my life, but the Nissan Titan really outshines those as well. When you're putting a ton of miles on a vehicle, comfortability is huge, right? I mean, you're spending all the time sitting in the seat. They got to be comfortable for you. There's the right amount of adjustability. The materials used are decent quality. They hold up clearly very, very well. They clean up well, they condition well, and there's the right amount of cushion. Sometimes you get into a vehicle and they're a little bit too hard. Sometimes they feel comfortable and they're really, really soft, but after a while they're just a little bit too soft and they don't provide the support that you're looking for. These seats are just like a perfect middle ground. They're firm enough to support you where you need to be supported, but they're soft enough to where you get that cushion on those long road trips. I mean, it really does check a lot of boxes. And I think when you're talking about a vehicle that has a lot of miles on it, the one thing, of course, that wears out the fastest is the seats. The seats and the steering wheel and the buttons, the console, those types of things tend to wear out the most. You could see the interior of this truck is immaculate. I don't want to speak too highly about it because that's when stuff starts to hit the fan, right? You jinx yourself. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm really pleased with this 2021 Nissan Titan, even though we are just shy of 70,000 miles at this point. From my perspective, if you're looking at buying a 2020 plus Nissan Titan, particularly the Pro4X, I highly recommend it. Obviously, there are a lot of videos out there showing this generation Titan with lower miles, but this is a prime example of a truck that's been taken care of very, very well in spite of the number of miles that have been put on it. I think I covered all the key points of concern for a vehicle as the mileage starts to increase, but if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I try to get to every single one of them as fast as I possibly can. But we certainly appreciate you guys watching and all the support that you've given up to this point. There's more stuff coming for the channel for the Titan and more adventures to come as well, so I hope you guys will stick around and consider hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. Again, we appreciate it very much. We'll see you in the next one.